In this video, I'm sharing my journey of how I quit a six-figure corporate job to go off and start my own business, and how I got to that point where I just could no longer say no. Let's talk about it. By the end of this video, you're going to have a glimpse to my journey of quitting my job and starting my own business. You're going to know 5 questions that were so helpful for me when I was sitting exactly where you are right now. And I'm going to leave you with one final truth, that if you're serious about leaving your job and starting your own business, you must embrace and believe at the very core of your being. So I'm a chemical engineer by trade, and I started my career in the corporate space in consumer packaged goods. And I was leveraging my degree in chemical engineering. I've always had this insatiable curiosity, always asking the what's, the how's, the what fors, even when I was younger. And so I often feel that science and math chose me because they armed me with the tools to go off and answer so many questions that I had about the mysteries of life. And so I just really, truly enjoyed engineering and working in corporate, and I did predominantly in research and development, innovation. I spent some time in downstream manufacturing, but it was all in the creation of new products and delivering those products. I got to answer so many complex questions. I got to design processes to scale up shampoo formulations. I got to manufacture razors, the Venus razor, Gillette. It was a really fun career. I got to travel the world, made a lot of great connections. Some of my very best friends are who I met when I was in my traditional corporate position. But ever since I started working in corporate, I always had this intuition, this whisper, that maybe there's something else. Maybe there's something different that you should be doing to make the world a better place, to use your talents and your gifts. And just straight up, and I talk about my journey very honestly in a lot of different ways from the stage and a lot of other videos, but when I started and as I progressed through my career, not only was my professional career flourishing, but so was my drinking career. And so when I would hear that whisper or any other really difficult emotion for that matter, I would just numb it out. By drinking or even using drugs. And so the intuition, I never really listened to it. I knew it was there, but I didn't wholeheartedly listen. Straight up, it wasn't until I got sober. It wasn't until I got sober and that intuition became a shout, and it became something that I could not ignore. There's something else, there's something different. And by this time, I had been working in corporate for going on 12 years. And I started to listen to that shout, because it couldn't be ignored. And I started to get curious about, okay, what is this? What could this thing be? And I started to explore, how can I share my gifts in a way to make the world a better place? And because I really want to inspire joy with another, I thought I would just write self-help books, and I love writing, love communicating. And I went to a conference that was being put on by Hay House, a Movers and Shakers conference in Boston. And during that conference, I had the opportunity to go to the front of the entire conference and kind of talk about what I was passionate about and what I wanted to bring to the world. And we were supposed to be practicing this in a session beforehand with a group. But I ditched my group and I went shopping because we were in a shopping center co-located and it was nice. And so I went shopping instead. But somehow I got called to the front of the room to do this thing, and I said, yo, straight up, I did not practice this, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I can wing it like nobody's business. And that's what I did. I winged it, and after I got done, one of the leaders said, you need to be on a stage. You need to be on a stage sharing this energy, this passion, this joy with the world. And she, asked the question out to everyone else, doesn't she? And they're like, yes, oh my goodness, her energy, my God, yes. And I had known that speaking was something that you could do because I'd been in the room and working in corporate and seeing these motivational speakers. But I never thought that this is actually a career. Somehow I thought this is something they did on the side, and they had a real job, right, somewhere else. But I realized that this was an entire industry, and it was something that I could pursue full time. And so that's what I decided that I was going to do. I was going to find a way to share my energy, create a message that would be a gift to corporate, that would be a gift to those in business. And what I was mentored to do was to find confronting the things that I had struggled with in my corporate career. And for me, it was change. I had been through multi-billion-dollar acquisitions. I had felt so much pain going through those acquisitions, the frustration, the anger, the anxiety, the fear of not knowing if I was going to have a job when I went into work, the next day. And I began cultivating this mindset that I've now coined change enthusiasm before I even had language for it. And it's that mindset that helped me to grow, that helped me to engage and inspire entire organizations going through multi-billion-dollar acquisitions. And so that's when I decided that it's that message. It's this mindset that I'm going to sculpt in a way that I can share it with somebody else. And I started to land speaking engagements, leveraging my network. I got to a point where I had more bookings than I had vacation days left in my corporate position. And that was over the course of about a year and a half. So I was building my speaking business on the side while still working full time. Because it's not like I was having a horrible time doing the work that I did in corporate. Remember, I like to solve problems. And I was having, great connections. I loved my teammates, the organization that I was leading. But it just got to that point as I was taking one step over the other that the next step was leaving my position. And now this idea of change enthusiasm has grown into a book, and now it's grown into this global movement. And now I'm creating an entire global consultancy around it. We're expanding all around the world with multi-billion-dollar clients across almost nearly every industry vertical. And so for me, leaving my position was something that I felt I had to do. It was something that was a part of my purpose, the path that I was meant to walk. And I discovered that as I started walking that path, things just started happening. And you've heard it before, how the universe will conspire. When you're really doing what you're supposed to do on your path, the universe will conspire to help you to create that and to build that. And it was like I was feeling the energy of my life pull me in that direction. So that's why I made the decision to leave my job and start my own business. It transcended beyond just starting a business, but I left my job to pursue my purpose and to live my purpose out loud and as fully as I possibly could. By the way, if that story inspired you in any way, if you've had questions, maybe you're going through change, thinking about making a big change in your life, go ahead and subscribe to this channel because I drop videos, content like this all the time, striving to give you value as you think about making a change or as you're going through a lot of change in your life. So click subscribe. You'll be one of the first to get notified. Okay, let's get back into this. So next I want to share 5 really powerful and helpful questions for me that I asked myself when I was sitting where you're at right now. Really questioning that curiosity, questioning, is this really the right move? Because I get a paycheck every 2 weeks. And I have paid benefits, and I have a very clear trajectory to keep growing like bananas in this company. Is this really what I'm supposed to do? So I want to talk through 5 questions that I posed myself when I was sitting in your seat. So I'm going to share these questions. And by the way, I'm not going to give any content or make any commentary on any of them. There's a lot of content on this channel. If you hear the question and you're curious, you can learn more in other videos. But really, these questions are meant for you to answer, not for me to put my own commentary on top of, okay? Question number 1, why do I want to start a business? What value do I think that I can bring to the market? Question number 2, is it necessary for me to quit my job, or is this something that I can build and grow as a side hustle? Question 3, how can I use my day job, the job that I'm in right now, to explore this potential? Question number 4, who in my network can I reach out to learn about what this journey could look like? Someone who's well-versed in the entrepreneurial journey and in entrepreneurship. The 5th and final question, and this really gets to the heart of things, which will I regret more? Leaving my job or not leaving my job? So I want to leave you with one final truth. No matter how many books you read, inspirational or motivational videos you watch like this one, people that you talk to, mentors that you ask for support or perspective, no matter how much of that you do, the only person that knows the answer to the question of whether or not you should quit your job to start your own business is you. I left my job to pursue my purpose and my passion in a very full and big way, in a way that would serve the world, to make the world a better place. I quit my job because I was following that purpose. I didn't quit my job because I was running away from frustrations or any angers that my job might have been inspiring. I did not quit my job to make millions of dollars. I did not quit my job to prove to somebody else that I was capable of doing it. I left my job because I felt the energy of my life pulling me away from it. If that's where you're at, if that resonates, then keep stepping one foot over the other. And I trust you'll land exactly where you're meant. By the way, before you go, there's something else that I want to give to you that I think is going to be really valuable as you're in this moment weighing options. It's actually the introductory chapter of my best-selling book, Change Enthusiasm: How to Harness the Power of Emotion for Leadership and Success. I think this growth mindset, Change Enthusiasm, is going to be really helpful for you as you're sitting in this moment, perhaps feeling some of those emotions like that fear, maybe that anxiety, thinking about, is this the right move for me? It's going to help you to transform that energy into fuel to help you grow and move forward. And I want to gift it to you today completely for free. I want to make sure you have the data, the research, the insights to help fuel your growth through even your toughest change challenges, like leaving a job to start your own business. I'm Cassandra Worthy. And until we meet again, keep growing and keep rocking.